Welcome to the Chicago Auto Show 2024 here in McCormick Place, here in the South Loop of Chicago, Illinois. My name is Mersh Batista, and this is Charging the Road. So we're here at the Chicago Auto Show show floor. I'm about to show you a nice little quick tour of the Chicago Auto Show, ranging from pretty much like almost all the vehicles and like the exhibits that is here, presence here in the Chicago Auto Show. Now we're going to be doing a nice little quick tour, talking about some vehicles here and there, with a little more emphasis on electric vehicles. Not just electric vehicles, but anything like when it comes to electric vehicle charging as well. Maybe kind of call those out a little bit, and maybe just a couple of ICE power vehicles that kind of stands out in today's show. So we're gonna go ahead and start with the Ford exhibit here. So the first thing, as you're gonna be walking in, the first thing you'll see is the brand new 2025 Ford Mustang convertible in this beautiful yellow color, which is, I'm a big fan of Mustangs, not just the Mustang Mach-E, but I'm a big fan of the traditional Mustang. So this is pretty cool. And then you have a lineup of F-150 pickup trucks. You'll notice right there, that's actually the F-150 Lightning. So you're gonna see that as well to start off. And so we're gonna start making our way over here. And this bad boy is the F-150 Raptor. Looks really good, looks really beefy, really like that. And then of course we start making our way over here. We have your Ford Bronco. In fact, this version of the Bronco, I believe, is a Ford Bronco Raptor. So that's why you have this really wide fenders, these really beefy tires. So this is going to be great for off-roading and great speeds. Basically, it's like the F-150 Raptor, but like in a Bronco version. It only comes in a four-door too. Love the evergreen color too, by the way. And of course, we start making our way over here. You have your Bronco Sport, your Ford Escape. I prefer the first and second generation of Ford Escape, just so you guys know. And then of course you have your 5.0 liter Mustang GT. Looks really nice, love it. And then of course, no, that is not my car, although it should look like my car. That's a Mustang, Mach-E in grabber blue. No, it's not my car, but it looks really nice when it's like brand new like this. Wheels, these are the base wheel covers too. Anyway, so let's have a look at the interior here. So as we enter into Ford, the first thing is just these beautiful lineup of vehicles. The very first thing is you'll see is the GTD Ford Mustang Special Edition GTD. I want one of these guys. If I ever make a good amount of money, close to $1 million or whatever, I want this. I told people that I've always dreamed of having a Mustang to take on the track. Maybe to show off, but really take it on the track. I will love to have this one day. Very beautiful design look. You can see like on the side, those sharp fins, super cool. See like the red caliper brakes, the track tires, those wheels looks amazing. But check out the front end. The front end is especially designed for this vehicle specifically. It's got this aggressive but also track friendly look to it. Looks really, really nice. I love it a lot. Now, obviously, we look over here. We have two special Mustang Mach-Es. We covered this in the video recently. Come check out in the card up in the top there. But this is your bronze gold exterior package. Finally, the Mustang Mach-E has a green color within their lineup. It's brand new for the next year, for 2024 or 2025, I believe. Really cool design, really cool look. We cover more deeply details into the video. And of course, I mentioned for the Mustang Mach-E Rally Edition, this is specifically tuned up with the Magna Ride to go on a rally racetrack. Super cool. I do like how the specifically designed to make sure we get enough lighting when going to the racetrack, like the rally track. It's really, really cool. Love the aggressive look. It's a little bit of a change up here from your typical front end design of the Mustang Mach-E. Now, So there's one more thing I wanted to show you before we move on to the next video or to the next part of the floor. A quick mention. This has been talked about recently on other YouTube channels, but this is the F-150 Lightning switchgear. This thing is in hyper mode. This thing can go super ridiculously fast on the desert, tracks, whatever you name it. This is amazing. I don't have a lot of information on top of my head, but all I know is that this thing, think of it as like an F-150 Lightning Raptor with all that performance and specs and everything. I'm not sure it's going to be available to the public. This would be insane if it can, but this can go really, really fast. So this is just like a worth mentioning and so forth. And yeah, I absolutely love it. And real quick mention before we move on, brand new 2025 refreshed Ford Explorer. So if you guys have a family and love and has been a fan of the Ford Explorers, they have them on this way. They have the regular version and of course the ST versions, you can't deny that, with a brand new interior as well. So definitely come check it out. It's definitely on the show floor. All right, let's move on to the next segment. Move on to the next part of the show floor.
With 6 standard drive modes.
So this is going to be your Ford Maverick trim. Looks pretty cool, really like that. And then here's another look, the F-150 Lightning. Now, couple things you'll notice that this is an F-150 Lightning. First of all, the badging right here on the side right here, that's going to say Lightning. Two, this badging right here, the All-American flag along with the blue bolt, that is your F-150 Lightning. And then also traditionally, you would typically see like a red lit up bar going across this way. But if we look at the front here real quick too, the front right here, you'll see the daytime running headlamp going all across the front from left to right. So you'll know that's also an F-150 Lightning. Plus, the grille is plastic. It's covered and it's plastic.
Upgraded evolution from America.
All right, so let's keep on walking here. So that is the new 2024 Ranger Raptor package. Again, same thing as like an F-150 Raptor, but now it's in a Ranger form. This is something I probably would want to have, just to kind of go off-roading, a little fun with it. And of course, it's your standard Lariat Ranger. And then of course, if you want to, there's the Expedition King Ranch. What's great about the King Ranch is that it's like one of the higher trims in the Expedition. Come have a look at the interior real quick. So we open up the door. Look at all that luxury and leather. This is great. Like if you're in Texas, this is probably going to be great for you. But this is just so much pizzazz of leather in there. And of course, there's some Easter eggs. If you look at the side right there, there's some Easter eggs of where you're going to be taking your Expedition, which is pretty nice. And of course, here's your Ford Transit. Yeah, your Transit for when you're doing, for work, video and everything. Cool. And of course, here is your Ford Bronco track. So like if you want to get hop on a ride in the if you want to hop on a ride with the Ford Bronco, you'll go on this nice little track. You go on this upcline and decline. That'll kind of demonstrate you the power and the efficiency behind the F-150. What I keep saying F-150. The Ford Bronco. All right, cool. So real quick, let's have a quick look at the Hyundai section. So just a quick look right here. This is your Hyundai section. It's basically kind of showcasing some of your typical Hyundai vehicles. There's a couple vehicles I do want to highlight real quick. First and foremost, this right here, we'll look at the side profile here. This is the newly redesigned Hyundai Santa Fe. It's no longer smaller. This is a little bit more longer. I saw this in the comments in one of the YouTube videos I was watching this morning, and they're probably absolutely right. This looks more like the Ford Flex. If you guys remember the Ford Flex, it kind of has that look to it. It's that square, boxy, and it's like a family running video and everything. So kind of cool. I like it. So here's another highlight video. So at the moment right now, Hyundai has 3 EVs. There's the Hyundai Kona, which is redesigned, which is going to be over there. There's the Hyundai Ioniq 5 and the Ioniq 6. This right here is the Ioniq 6. I said this to many people. People have different tastes when it comes to vehicles and everything. I'm still not impressed by it. This is my personal opinion, but I can see the appeal for some of the people. The interior has that very classic Hyundai look to it. So like I said, you know, Hyundai will have the 3 EVs. There's your Ioniq 5 over there, Ioniq 6. And the newly redesigned Hyundai Kona, surprisingly, is bigger than than it was originally. It used to be a little more compact. Now it feels like the Tiguan. It has like the size of the Tiguan. So you like the running lamp going across, very sleek, small line look. I think that's a nice little touch for the Hyundai Kona. Now again, the Hyundai Kona comes in regular gas power, hybrid, and electric. Cool. So let's move on. So we are here at the Chevrolet booth here. So we've done a video of the Silverado EV and the Equinox EV, but everything else when it comes to Chevrolet, you'll have your Chevrolet Trax. I think that's your track. No, I'm sorry, that's your Trax right there. Let's have a look. I get confused. They all look kind of like the same thing, but okay. So this is your Chevrolet Trax Active. Okay, so that's your Trax right there, and this is going to be your Geo Tracker. Sorry, so I had to put that out. This is going to be your Chevrolet Trailblazer. So it's like the smaller version of your Blazer. It's a Blazer. I think the Blazer is somewhere. But this is going to be like your typical floor. Like if you're into Chevrolet, awesome, cool. If you're looking to get into EV, I'll show you real quick. So this right here is the first ever all-electric Equinox. And then again, we've done the video. I'm gonna put the card in the top right corner so you guys have a look at that. And if we make our way over here, now, something I want to talk about here real quick. So that is actually the Chevrolet Blazer EV. Now, one of the reasons why I didn't put together a video, because at the current moment right now, at the time of this recording, there is a stop sale for the Chevrolet Blazer EV because there is a software glitch. Not that I'm saying like, you know, any bad reps about it. That's just the news right now, currently right now. So if you're at the show floor, just keep that in mind. At the moment right now, there's a stop sale. So when they do fix the software issue and it's ready to be back in the market, just have a look to Chevrolet Blazer EV. Let's have a quick look at it real quick. So there's going to be multiple trims on sale, but the first trim that's going to be on sale is going to be the RS. You'll see the badging in the RS right there. The overall design is actually not bad. It feels like the same overall size as the Mach-e. But if you have a look at the interior right here, this is one of my favorite things about the Chevrolet Blazer EV. First of all, door handle, traditional. I love it. So if we look at the interior, same thing. You have your typical steering wheel. You have the black and red theme. It kind of gives like a little bit of a race look to it. Really nice. I think let's have a look here. The one thing I've noticed with the seating here, it's not as cushy as I thought it would be. I expected it to be a little more cushy, but the overall interior, I mean, it's kind of nice. You have your 3 circle heated vents, or like your air vents, that side and that side too as well. You have this really big screen here that kind of goes across, and also kind of hugs over to the driver's side. As a driver, that's awesome. But if you're a passenger, there's no way to pivot this, by the way. So their angle view is going to be kind of a little disruptive. So that's why generally I'm not a fan of like screens kind of like curving around the driver, because you're going to have passengers. They're going to want to fiddle around the entertainment screen. So, but this is a great design though, I will admit that, which is great. All right, so again, we're gonna make our way over here. So as we're kind of walking around in the Chevrolet, this is the wall right here, kind of explaining about GM and their mission for electrification. And then you have like your OTM home charger that you can actually purchase. I'm sure there are going to be programs and incentives. So if you do end up purchasing an electric vehicle from General Motors, like an Equinox or Silverado EV, or even like a Chevrolet Blazer EV, then there's going to be programs where you can actually purchase like a home charger, get it installed for you and everything. And there you go, J1772. Now let's have a quick look at the Silverado EV. All right, so this is the first ever all-electric Silverado EV. I'll leave the card up in the top right here because we did a video of the Silverado EV in black, which is actually going to be over there. But in full display, you'll have the blue version of the Silverado EV, which should be out pretty soon later this year, let's hope, which it gets estimated 400 miles of range. And I personally love the truck, actually, to be honest. But this is like your typical pickup truck, and that's what I like. When it comes to the pickup truck, I like something very typical like this. So yeah, let's have a quick look over this way. This is something very special here. So this, I'm not sure if this is specifically the one, but this made all the way from the Arctic Circle all the way down to Antarctica. I'm sure if you do some research, look up on YouTube, it'll talk further about the pole-to-pole exposition, where they were to go from the Arctic Circle all the way down to Antarctica through the Americas, which I think is pretty impressive. Actually, earlier it was snowing. Looks like it's not anymore because it's like 55 degrees Fahrenheit in Chicago right now. Unusual for Chicago weather, by the way. And I do want to point this out real quick. Again, that's the Aria. So that's Nissan's first, I would say Nissan's first all-electric vehicle, but it's Nissan's first all-electric vehicle in the CCS. CCS is in the combined charging system, to be used in the charging combined system. So just have a quick peek here in the interior. There's been some multiple YouTube videos talking about the interior. They have physical buttons in the very middle. It's actually like touch sensitive and everything. You have your screen that goes across. I'm not sure how many lengths of inches is actually that. It might be 15 or 17 inches long. It could be like longer than that. But then you have like two screens, one for the instrument cluster and one for your entertainment. And then your center console, this is actually interesting. I'm going to demonstrate this for you. These are going to be your buttons that actually moves your center console. You see, like if I'm pressing to the left, it pushes in. If I go to the right, pushes out. And then here's your touch button configurations for various things, and of course your center console. The seats, they look cushy, but as I'm pressing in with my hand, it feels a little stiff. But overall interior, it's not bad. A little bit off design putting from Nissan typically, because I had a Nissan Altima at one point. I once had a Nissan Altima 2003. I actually did like the car a lot. I had it for a little while and it was quite the fun car, but yeah, the design there is actually interesting. So if you guys are a Nissan fan, obviously go check out the Nissan booth. There's another Aria right there in blue. That's a beautiful blue, by the way. Quite fitting for the Nissan Aria. All right, so let's head over here to the Volkswagen booth. The weather has calmed down a little bit for the ID buds. So here we're kind of paying homage to Volkswagen. Obviously they have their classic Beetle bug, however you want to call it. It's either a bug or Beetle. You have that in black right there. You also have the blue one right there. And of course, the Volkswagen ID Buzz. I'll leave the video in the top card right there in the top right. We did a video on the ID Buzz, which I thought it was very interesting, very amazing, paying homage to the original Volkswagen Bus. But this is the all-electric ID Buzz. In my opinion, this would be a great road tripper if you're bringing friends along and so forth, as long as the charging infrastructure can be vastly improved. Without that charging infrastructure improvements, who knows how much trouble you're gonna have, just in electric vehicles in general. But am I advocating for electric vehicles? Of course I am. But we need the charging infrastructure improved. And so there's another vehicle I want to show you guys real quick. So Volkswagen first ever all-electric vehicle is actually the ID.4. Right now, they don't have the ID.7 in display. That's the next entry in the all-electric vehicle for Volkswagen. The ID.7 is supposed to be like a sedan version of the ID.4. It's supposed to be like a little more bigger than a traditional sedan. Sort of like it's supposed to be kind of like the same size as the Toyota Crown, which I thought was pretty cool. But look here real quick. But yeah, just a quick look. This is the ID.4. You may have seen this already on the road. So if you guys are curious what this vehicle is, this is the Volkswagen ID.4, first ever all-electric. Nice, very simple design. You know, if you're not looking for anything too spazzy or anything like that, affordability is right around the $40,000 range to start. And yeah, it's honestly not a bad car. I think it's great. It just has some software bugs to begin with, but I'm sure over time there's been some improvements. Oh, and they finally got the plug and charge feature. Finally after a couple of years, they finally got the plug and charge feature. So we're making our way over. So real quick, my friends at mach-e Vlog, Patrick and Liv, they're there right now. Looks like they're filming right now, so we're just gonna say, we'll say hello later. But we are moving on to the track here. So there's gonna be an indoor track. The indoor track here is actually made available, possible because the indoor track, this is all electric vehicles. So you'll have a chance to try out the Silverado EV, Ford Mustang Mach-E, the F-150 Lightning, Kia EV6, Kia EV9. I believe you can actually do the Lucid, but I'm not quite sure if we walk towards this way. This is your Kia EV9 right here. Nice silver color. Actually, this is silver matte, I think. Yeah. Looks pretty good, actually. I like it. Yeah, so have a come and look real quick. So you can just see like the lineup of vehicles right here. Obviously, when the show floor happens, it's gonna get really busy. People are gonna want to try things out. So again, you have your Silverado, your Mustang Mach-E, F-150 Lightning, Kia EV6, Kia EV9, your Cadillac Lyric in black and red. You also have your BMW iX, I believe, and it's just like more vehicles across the way, including Teslas. You can actually test drive the Tesla Model 3 Refresh and the Tesla Model S, and I believe the Tesla Model Y. So again, Tesla being here in the Chicago Auto Show for the very first time, it's a big deal. And I think everybody's gonna be jumping on board with the Tesla. So moving on further down this way, obviously this is the, obviously right there, that is the Cadillac Lyric. Cadillac's first ever all-electric vehicle, which is, I love the color, by the way. I'm not sure if you guys can tell from the camera, but if you get closer, the light reflecting against the paint, that looks amazing. It kind of matches my color shirt actually more than the other car. And of course, we've done a video of the all-new, first ever 2025 Escalade IQ. I'll leave the video on the top card corner right here, so that we got to have a closer look to the Cadillac Escalade IQ. Cool. All right, put on this way. This is the all-electric Lucid Air. It's a brand new company, up and start. They're based out of Arizona. Usually these things go close to right around $100,000, but the range on this is amazing. You're looking at anywhere between 450 to 500 miles of range in a single charge of battery, which is pretty impressive. It's a very aerodynamic vehicle. And this is your small but first-time presence Tesla at here to Chicago Auto Show. Now, I think this is just a typical Tesla Model 3, not just the Tesla Model 3. This is actually the refresh of the Tesla Model 3, brand new suspension, brand new drivetrain, and of course, a little bit of a refresh design in the front right here. Obviously, the headlamps are a little bit more sleeker than they were before, and in the front, it doesn't look much of a fish snout. Now it actually looks a little more sleeker. But then if you look at the back tail light here, the back tail light has also been redesigned too. Before it would cover all around here, but now it just have this, like, I like to call it like the stapler looking design. So it's a little bit more closer, a bit more closer to the Volvo design, but it still has that Tesla touch, and obviously your charging port back to where it was. Just press right there. That's you down and you're good to go. And of course we did the video on the Tesla Cybertruck. another quick look at it. This thing is huge. Height-wise is about 6'1", maybe 6'2", where I'm at, but it does have the air suspension where you can actually raise it up or lower as you need to. But that's a beefy boy right there. Cool. Now let's head over this way. All right, so as we're making our way towards more of the show floor, we have Honda, we have BMW, we have Buick, and we also, all the way down there, we have GMC and Kia, which we will visit. But first of all, let's just hop into Hyundai here real quick. You have your Honda Odyssey, and I believe you have your, what is this? Sometimes I can't even tell which ones. As you can tell, I don't drive Hondas, but yeah, this is your 2024 Honda Pilot, which is cool. Now, there is one thing I do want to show here real quick. We did the video on Honda Prologue, so if we were to start making our way over here. All right, so we get closer, we have your Honda Civic Type R. Pretty cool car in my opinion, actually. I like it. And then here we go. Here's the Honda Prologue Elite. This is the first ever all-electric Honda vehicle that is being released by Honda. This is actually in partnership with General Motors. So this platform is actually based on the Chevrolet Blazer EV platform, which will be released later this year, starting around $42,000 to $43,000. So there's actually a video that we did here. So I'm gonna leave it at I'll leave it at the link up on top right here, so you guys can check it out for a closer look. And then we start making our way over here. Here you have Mazda. It's a very small space that they got here, but if you guys are a fan of Mazda, you have it here. Of course, you have your BMW here. They got a couple vehicles out on the show floor here. I was actually walking around just to observe what's going on here. Then, of course, I noticed a couple vehicles. The X2, that's what kind of stood me out. This is actually starting $51,400. I think this is kind of brand new, but I like the front end, by the way. Doesn't look horrible. But I'll show you something else though. So BMW has their electric vehicles. You have BMW i5 eDrive 40. As you can tell, this is actually a plug-in. This is like all electric, so you can actually do DC fast charging with that thing. There's your port right there. And then of course you have right here, this is your BMW 760iX. This is also another iteration, which is actually quite nice, quite awesome. And then so let's start making our way over towards here. So here, if you're into Buick, you have your Buick section here. They have the newest vehicle. Let me just kind of point this out real quick. This is your 2024 Invista Sport Touring. As far as luxury-wise, it's okay, but the overall design, if you think about it, is actually quite simple. It's actually quite nice. I think the pricing on this is starting what? $28,680. For this version of the Invista, it's only $28,680. It's not a bad value, actually. You can see the badging for the XT right there. And I do like the color, by the way. So I just wanted to quickly point that out. I thought that was actually quite nice. Now the GMC has the Hummer EV. I've seen these on the road before. I remember going on a road trip from Chicago to Toronto, and I made a stop at the Electrify Canada, and a prototype of the Hummer EV actually managed to park next to me. So I did a comparison photo of the size of that Hummer EV versus my Mach-e. But yeah, this is the Hummer EV. There's two versions. There's the pickup truck version, which I believe is this. This also kind of demonstrates that you can bring, that you have like camping equipment. So if you ever go camping, you can bring that along. Now when it comes to electric vehicles, you could go camping because you can actually charge in their electrical box, level 2, 220 volt outlet. And here, over here, This is your Hummer EV SUV. So it's basically the same thing as the Hummer EV pickup, but just in the back it's all covered up like an SUV version. Just look how wide this thing is. This thing is huge. This thing can go to 0 to 60 in about 3 seconds, I believe, within a certain mode, like a drive mode that you can just like bolt. It's just crazy. It's also weighing right around 9,000 pounds, so that's just massive. Great vehicle though. Looks pretty awesome. And we start making our way towards here. Check out this Duramax. This Duramax is awesome. If you live out in the country, that's going to be the perfect pickup truck. Recently released their Kia EV9. This is like your typical non-luxury 3-row family vehicle SUV that is all electric. And I gotta say, this is actually quite impressive. Just look, the size overall doesn't feel too big, but it's also big enough at the same time. I love the light display that you have here. And just look at the pixels right here. The pixel lighting up here, it looks pretty cool. I believe when it's charging, it's gonna have like a little bit of a light sequence. Really cool. And of course, all down here is gonna be piano black. You have your front camera view right there. And if you look at the side right here, check out these wheels right here. This is all, like part of it is like plastic, part of it is like piano black, matte black covers. I thought they looked pretty unique. It's a very fitting design for the overall design theme of the Kia EV9. Now check out the interior real quick. So I pull back in this door handle. Now you have this massive display. This display is very similar to the Hyundai Ioniq 5 and the Kia EV6, so it kind of fits the same deal, but the overall design here feels more simplistic, but it also has a good sleek look to it. So it kind of adds a little bit of an aggressive look for an SUV, and I like it a lot. The new car smell. And the seat cushion, you know what? This is actually quite cushy. I'm gonna actually sit in here real quick. So if I sit here and relax back here, it's actually lumbar-wise, lumbar support. There's some great lumbar support as it is already. I feel well snugged in from the side right here, and the seat is not stiff. It's actually quite cushy, not too cushy. So if you're on a long road trip with the Kia EV9 and you're in the passenger side, maybe like in the back seat too, it feels quite nice. And actually here, so this doesn't have a glass strip that stretches all the way across, but what you do have here is that you have your typical sunroof with your shade. Pull back, here's your controls right here. It'll pop open, slide back, just like any other vehicle that has a sunroof, which is pretty cool. Now I actually want to hop on the back side right here. See how that feels like. Now I want to show you guys real quick. There is a 3rd row seating, so obviously you have 2 seats in the middle section, and I believe if you press right there, this button right here, this will automatically, very slowly, slide right forward to you. And if you look at the back side right here, you have a 3rd row seating for the kids. For an adult, I'm not sure how comfortable it will be, but I would like to try it out just for the sake of the content. So as I make my way to the back right here, I tell you what, it's actually not bad. You have 2 cup holders here. You have your USB-C port here. Same thing on the other side, USB-C port here. 2 cup holders here. Actually, no, I'm sorry, there's not 2 cup holders. You have 1 cup holder in each side. And then the other side, I guess like it's your, I don't know, maybe like your snack tray. If you wanted to get like a 10-piece from McDonald's or something. And then of course you have your speakers on the side, and you have your clips right here for your, for your clothes and whatnot. Now, if I were to like pull this back and see how much room I actually do have as an adult, not the best room, but it's also, I don't feel tight in here, but at the same time there isn't a lot of room. but it's tolerable. If you're going a cross-country road trip, you're gonna take breaks anyways, so this is actually quite not bad at all. Now I want to sit in this side here to see what the seats are like. I believe it's gonna be the same thing. Oh, these seats are actually cushier. So the back seats here, they're not as cushy as these seats right here. You do have your armrest here. I believe it's adjustable too, which is, oh, this is great. So it's adjustable, shoot it all the way down and adjust it the way you want it to. Bada bing, there you go. Does this have armrest on the other side? Not really, but you're using the door anyways to rest your arm and whatnot. And what's cool is you have your controls here, not sure if you can tell, but there's a button right here for your heated seats and your cool seats, even for the second row, which I think is very, very impressive. And one little thing I just noticed too, USB-C. So if you're charged, so you have your phone, you want to charge up, you have your USB-C port here, and then 2 more additional cup holders for the second row seating. Really awesome, actually, to be honest. So we're going to squish ourselves out of here. Now I want to check out the door trunk sound. You know, for an import, that doesn't sound so bad at all. Not too harsh, not too shallow. One more time. I like it. Looks pretty cool. Real quick touch in the back side here. Very simple look. This kind of reminds me of a Kia Soul light lamp design. Has a nice little touch to it. You have your, I believe this is your rear view mirror camera that sits right here. And then of course you have your backup camera right down here. This is the EV9 GT line. So I'm sure it's gonna have a lot of power. I don't know right on top of my head what the torque and the horsepower it is behind it, but I gotta say, Kia, you did great with the EV9. All right, let's move forward now. So the other vehicle for Kia is their first all-electric vehicle, which is the Kia EV6. This is their GT line, and this material is actually a matte finish, silver look. I personally like it. It's a pretty fitting for the vehicle itself, which is the overall design. This is sort of like the same size as the Mustang Mach-E, except it has a little bit more of a shorter roof. And in the interior, it's actually quite nice. If you have a look in here real quick. By the way, traditional door handles. So these are supposed to be fleshed in into the door. So you can actually pull this out, bada bing, very gentle. And so you can see the screen that goes all the way across. You actually have 2 screens, one for the instrument cluster and the other one for your entertainment info. And your steering wheel is going to be the same theme as other Kia vehicles. Now, if you notice that the center console is all piano black, that's going to get scratched easily. That's going to have fingerprints very easily. I guess many people just like the look. I don't mind it, but just bear in mind when you do purchase a vehicle with a lot of piano black, it will get scratched up quite easily. And and then as far as like the tail lights is concerned, I'm very polarized by this design. I like it, but also don't like it at the same time. So, but I think it could have been done a little bit better, but still, this is a great car. So if you look at a Kia EV6, not a bad choice if you're looking to that. All right, and then let's see. So one more thing to mention, the Kia also has the Kia Niro. So basically this is like the cousin to the Kia, not Kia, this is basically the cousin to Hyundai Kona, and it has the gas power version, it has the hybrid version, and it has the all-electric version. Same deal, max charging rate is about 75 to 77 kilowatt hour when you're doing DC fast charging. So not as bad as the Chevrolet Bolt, but still it's going to take you quite a bit of time, anywhere between 45 to 60 minutes to charge up from 20% to 80%. Just keep that in mind for sure. All right, so now we're heading over here in the Subaru section. Now Subaru is best known for outdoor, for outdoor vehicles, at least from my understanding. So this is your Subaru BRZ. Basically, this is the cousin to the Supra. Shares about the same platform. Pretty cool car. That's actually a prototype. It's actually quite nice. So if you're into that, that's in display for sure. Now, the Subaru is supposed to be having, also has the a shared platform from Toyota's BZ4X. It's exactly the same design, except that the badging is just different between the Toyota and of course Subaru. So let's have a quick walkthrough around here, yeah. So the overall setting here for Subaru, they usually like to have this nice little setup because when it comes to Subarus, it's all about the wilderness, driving this vehicle through the, through the forest, or driving this vehicle through the national parks and stuff. It's like an adventure type of vehicles. Really cool though. Check out this cool display, by the way. I kind of like the setup, to be honest. but for Subarus, if you're into Subarus, you do have everything in display. They have the Subaru Forester. I don't know. Then you have your Subaru Crosstrek. I kind of like the design a bit. It has a little bit of a rugged look, which is actually pretty cool. Now check out the display right here, because the big selling point with the Subaru is taking your vehicle on an adventure, rather for like almost like all-terrain and such. So rather it's going through the forest, rather going through snow, tracks and such. Tracks as in like dirt tracks and stuff. Supposedly this thing can handle mud like a champ. Pretty cool, snow, mud tracks, and so forth. Oh yeah, so here it is. This is the Subaru Solterra. This is exactly sharing the exact same platform as the Toyota BZ4X. The overall design, aesthetic from the inside out, almost exactly the same thing. The only difference is it's the badging. Subaru has their Subaru badging, Toyota has their Toyota badging. By the way, when it comes to DC fast charging, it's actually slower than the Chevrolet Bolt. So unless you have home charging, just be aware of that. Anyways, we're gonna move on forward. All right, so let's have a look here at the Toyota show floor. This is the all-new 2024 Toyota Land Cruiser. This vehicle is a prototype, so just be aware of that, but this is brand new. This looks amazing, very simple. Check out the backside here. This kind of reminds me of a Land Rover, but this is actually going to be quite exciting for Toyota fans as it is. I don't know too much about the Land Cruiser, but I know there's a lot of hype behind the Land Cruiser, so this is something I just need to acknowledge to you guys. Land Cruiser is here at the Chicago Auto Show. Now, as we kind of go around the Toyota floor, obviously you have your all-new 2024 Toyota Tacoma, the best-selling midsize pickup in this class. There's a good reason for it, but it looks pretty impressive. I do like it. It's actually quite nice. Now, I'm trying to see if they have BZ4X, because I wanted to show you guys that with the BZ4X, it shares the same platform as the Subaru Solterra. 7892. Obviously here you have your Toyota Tacoma, Toyota Tundra. Sorry, you have the Toyota Tundra, the full-size pickup, and then you have your Toyota Highlander, and then of course your Toyota Camry. This is the 2024 Toyota Camry. They've redesigned the Toyota Camry for the next generation, and in fact, for the next generation of Toyota Camry, all their trims are going to be hybrid. There's no more straight up gas powered. There's no straight up EV, it's all hybrid, which is quite exciting. So over here you have, obviously that's your Toyota Camry, that is your Toyota Corolla on that side, and this is the Toyota Crown. Personally, I do like this. This is like an elevated version of a full-size sedan. It's got a nice little aggressive look. I just like the front end here, and it's not small, it's not too big, it's just got the right size. It's not exactly like a crossover, it's more like a sedan crossover, if you get the drift. Now when it comes to Toyota, there's one thing you cannot deny, is that they are best automotive company when it comes to hybrid vehicles. Which, you know, their first ever hybrid vehicle was the Toyota Prius. To this day, they're still selling the Toyota Prius. So I do want to show you guys the redesigned Toyota Prius, and I gotta say, I think for the first time ever, the Toyota Prius car design actually looks attractive enough. Let's put it that way, attractive enough. So it's no longer like a heightened egg shape. It's got a sleek slope look to it, and I do like the taillights here. It's got this, it's still kind of got the original aesthetic from like the previous generation of the Prius, but it also got the sleek look to it. It's a lot less complicated. It feels more simple, which is great. Good amount of car space. And if you look at the front right here, it's kind of got this little sharp fin right here that kind of slopes down, but also a lot of the air kind of channels through this way, which kind of helps with the aerodynamic. Now you see like the taillights here, you have, kind of goes across this way here. Same thing on that side here too as well. And you kind of got the vents down here. Pretty cool vehicle, to be honest. And you know what? I do not see the BZ4X. Toyota BZ4X, you'll notice if once we get to the Toyota, no, I'm sorry, once we get to the Subaru Solterra, you'll notice that the design is just pretty much identical. The front end, there's this big space right here, a little bit of a sharp fin in the front right here, and even the interior too. The interior is going to be the exact same design. The side profile is going to be the exact same thing. So what's going on here? So Toyota and the Subaru has kind of partnered themselves together to create a EV compliant vehicle. Basically it's the most minimalistic thing they can do to get compliance for having an electric vehicle within their company's lineup. But they decided to share the exact same platform. So when it comes to DC fast charging, it charges slower than 50 kilowatt hours. So just keep that in mind. So if you're planning on getting this vehicle, make sure you have home charging, and make sure you don't go on a road trip with this thing, because you probably will have a very miserable time. I'm not gonna lie about it, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, but you will have a miserable time. Trust me, when it comes to EVs and road trips, I know very much. Okay guys, that concludes the 2024 Chicago Auto Show tour of the entire show floor. Obviously there's a lot to see here. There's probably gonna be some great buzz around the ID buzz, no pun intended, and of course this Tesla Cybertruck. But everybody has different tastes when it comes to vehicles, and even electric vehicles. So there's a lot to see here. All right guys, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more EV content. Until then guys, have a good one and stay smashing.